ठीक
messaged
है.
you
Fine, fine,
and
fine. Then it is fine. Very nice. Mr. Amit Singh, can you please tell us about yourself?
so my name is Amit Singh. I am from Noida, Uttar Pradesh. I have done my initial schooling from Kendriya Vidyalayas from various states since my father was in central government job, which was transferable. And thereafter, I completed my BA LLB integrated course from Rajasthan University. And thereafter, I joined Council of Delhi. I started practicing right after my graduation. For 2 years, I practiced, and then I joined Legal Alliance firm. 2 years I worked there, and thereafter I started my independent practice in Delhi itself.
So now
And
you are
during
doing independent practice or you are
yes, sir.
working for Legal Alliance?
No, sir, I stopped working for Legal Alliance back in 2023 itself. So I
Now,
am working independently now.
acha, you are a junior under somebody, or you have, supposing you join our company, Bank of India, what will happen to the cases you have on hand? How many cases you may be having on hand now?
So I might be having somewhere around 15 to 20 cases with me that
Only,
I'm handling personally.
only.
That I myself brought. And there
Yeah,
are
that is
several.
true. But then why, in spite of your being in the field for so long a time, 1 year, you have been able to get only 15 or 20 cases on hand? Does it mean you are not making contact with people to get new cases or something like that? Anyhow, doesn't matter. I'm not going into the merits of that. Why did you choose legal line, Mr. Amit?
Sir, I think by joining legal line, I can provide help to people. I can make a good living out of it. And there's always like charm in the legal field to become a big shot lawyer in some big city. So I always got attracted by those dreams and I followed it.
Then why are you coming to bank now?
Sir, bank is a booming industry and soon enough India will be a $5 trillion economy. So banks will definitely play a big role in India becoming a $5 trillion economy. Therefore, I think joining bank would be a great option. And secondly, there is always this benefit in the banking industry that a person could earn regular income out of it. And one has certainty that by the end of the month he'll get paid for what he is doing. In legal profession, at times there are several cases that you get the money flows in, but at times there are no good number of cases in your hand, and there's no certainty of money there. So I think
I
the
understand.
banking
I understand. I
well,
understand that. So now, what do you know about Bank of India?
Bank of India is a public sector bank, and it is one of the 12 or 13 public sector banks that are operating in India as of now.
How many public sector banks are there?
Sir, I guess there are 12. I'm not very sure of it.
Earlier, what did you say?
12 or 13, I said.
Why should you say 12 or 13? There can be only one. It is 12 only. 12.
Yes, sir. I read it somewhere, but I was not very sure of it.
12 including our the State Bank of India.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
So, Bank of India is one of the leading banks in India, and it offers a great opportunity for me to grow. Therefore, I want to join Bank of India.
Okay. 1 minute. Yeah. Do you have any exposure to recovery of money from others?
Yes, sir.
Which
I have
which
dealt
type of
with
cases
recovery.
you have done?
Yes, sir. I have dealt with SARFACI cases as well. I have done this DRT related cases as well. I have I've been exposed to these recovery suits as well. I have done
But
some criminal litigation, some arbitration related cases as well. So my exposure is quite all round, sir.
Acha, good. So can you tell me about the procedure for proceeding in, say, DRT?
Sir, in DRT, once the bank files an application, the court will send someone to the respondent that they need to give the written statement, the show cause notice within, they will give to the respondent, and he need to reply within 30 to 45 days. If extension is given, 45 days is the time they are given, and they are also um, they are also given a notice as to that they need to divulge whatever the securities, additional securities they have, so that their debt could be paid. And if they do not divulge any information regarding their securities, they could face 3 month imprisonment as well. And this is how it goes, sir. And the process is not very lengthy there. The bank could recover their loans easily, especially the unsecured loans.
Mhm. What is the case of filing fees in DRT?
Sir, in DRT, if the subject matter is less than 10 lakh rupees, the debt is less than 10 lakh rupees, the cost is around 12,000. And for every subsequent lakh, if the loan is of more value than 10 lakh rupees, for every subsequent lakh, the court fees is additional 1,000 rupees over that 12,000 rupees, to a maximum of 1,50,000.
Good. What is the justification for this DRT?
DRT was required because the civil court cases were pretty lengthy, and they needed some tribunal to deal with such cases, who will specifically deal with the bank related cases, since there were many NPAs, there were many defaulters who were not willing to pay to the public sector banks, or any banks or financial institution for that matter. So there was this urgent need to create some tribunal which can deal with such kind of cases and provide timely and speedy justice in such
No,
cases.
no. You will have to tell about a situation prior to implementation of SURFACE Act. The delay in courts were very high. And in order to get a procedure by which banks can recover early, this DRT was thought of. Correct?
Yes,
That is the
yes, sir.
situation. Not only that, you know what is the position of cases? What is the longest number of years case that is available on record? You must, I read it in some reports in newspapers. There are cases pending for 70 years,
Yes, sir.
72
Cases.
years.
Yes, sir.
There are cases pending for so many years. Very bad. 70 years, that is
Yes.
even before my birth, cases will be outstanding. Yeah. Suppose a bank had filed a case in which he has not taken a step under 13(4) properly. What PO
Yes, sir.
can do? What PO can do?
The borrower can actually approach DRT under Section 17 of the SARFAESI Act, wherein he can challenge the proceedings of SARFAESI that are being conducted by the bank against him. And this is the recourse that is provided in SARFAESI Act against the banks. Or if the proceedings themselves are like inherently fraudulent, then he can also approach civil courts, though the jurisdiction of civil courts is expressly barred in the SARFAESI Act. But if there are certain proceedings that are inherently fraudulent and are just being initiated by the banks just to prejudice the borrower, then the civil courts could be approached. And since civil courts have the plenary jurisdiction in such cases, they can also provide remedy and save the property rights of the borrowers. This
Supposing
is the second option.
bank has served a legal notice under Section 13(2) of the SURFACE Act. The borrower has gone to DRT and filed a SA application.
Yes, sir.
What are your comments on this?
Sir, first borrower should wait for the 60 days. Only after the bank has taken the possession of the property, either constructive or physical, then only the right for the borrower arise to approach the DRT under Section 17.
No, I think your answer, I'm not sure whether it is 100% correct, because the 60 days period should be there. And after
Yes, sir.
that, he can reply the same within 15 days. And then, and the bank has to reply it within 15 days. And further, the borrower has 45 days time period of limitation to file SA application. But the objection mentioned in the reply will not be the ground in this application. So his filing before the 60 days time is not valid.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Who is a
This is
willful defaulter? Who is a willful defaulter?
someone who has appropriate assets to pay the defaulted amount, and yet he does not pay when the amount becomes due. That defaulter is a willful defaulter.
And whose CIBIL is also badly disturbed.
Yes, sir.
CIBIL is also affected. How the
Okay.
banks file evidence in DRT?
Sir, they usually file the security agreement or the mortgage papers or the property papers that they have with the DR to show that they have claim over this property. Then uh, the security over this loan for claiming that their loan back.
What are the assets of bank?
Assets of bank are the secured assets that they have, land, they could have movable properties, they the loan that people have taken from them, that would also be an asset, I guess.
You used the word secured assets. You should use the word fixed assets.
Yes, sir. Fixed assets. Yeah.
Yeah. What are banks' liabilities?
Banks liabilities. Banks are liable for the deposits are the bank's liabilities, and they have to give it back to the people. The debentures, the bank do any debt security that they create over there.
Or you can use a broad term, any loans taken by the bank.
Yes, sir.
Any
Any
loans taken
loans
by
take.
the bank or any borrowings made by the bank from Reserve Bank or other banks, and the deposits
Yes.
received from the public. Apart from that, even the capital is a liability for the bank as it is. The capital has to be given to its shareholders.
Okay, sir.
That is a technical term you may not be familiar with. It is a commerce term. Now, what is the difference between hypothecation and pledge?
Sir, hypothecation and pledge both are charges. Both are the basically in hypothecation a charge is created over the movable property, whether it be existing or future. That is created by the borrower in favor of the secured creditor without delivering the possession. And in pledge, the possession is delivered to the creditor as a security for the debt taken.
Hmm.
That's the difference, sir.
So, can you give the example for hypothecation and pledge?
Sir, hypothecation example, good example would be a car loan.
Hmm.
In car loans, usually the banks create a charge over the car they are basically the owners till the borrower pay back the money. So even though the possession of the car remains with the borrower, the hypothecation charge is with the banks. In case of pledge, for example, a money lender takes some, at times they take some gold jewelry from people. They mortgage their movable property, their bikes to some money lender for securing some debt from the money lender, for securing some money out of him. This is this is a good case for pledge.
Please tell me something about your exposure to Lok Adalat.
Sir, Lok Adalats are an alternative dispute resolution mechanism wherein the parties come to settle their cases. They do not litigate there. There is no such need of big advocates and something, but the parties need to come to their settlement. There is no forcing of parties. The Lok Adalats do not enforce anything or impose anything on anyone. They just want the parties to come to an understanding, and once the settlement is done, without court fees, parties can settle their case and get the remedy. It is very beneficial even in the banking loan cases, where default cases, where the NPA accounts, people could not pay back their money. The banks come to the settlement with people, and these proceedings can be initiated by one party, and both parties together also can come to an understanding and approach the Lok Adalats for settlement of their cases.
You are
There
from
are several.
You are from Haryana?
No, sir, I am from Noida. Haryana is
Noida.
nearby.
Nearby.
Yes,
Yeah, the Noida is in Uttar Pradesh. Correct, correct.
yes, sir. Uttar Pradesh.
For you, which DRT will come?
Sir, I DRT, I don't, DRT would be somewhere in Noida itself, sir. I actually practice in Delhi. So
Delhi, I think you have two DRTs also. Not sure. I know one that used to be there in old Rajendra Nagar, Rajendra Place.
Yes, sir.
अभी भी उधर ही है.
Yes, sir. It is there only.
अच्छा. Useless, dirty court.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what to do? Nothing can be done. Good. Last question for you. Please tell me what is a fixed charge and what is a floating charge? A legal question.
Fixed charge is stable. It is a constant charge over any loan. For example, the interest over some loan is 8%. It remains 8%. Whereas in floating charge, the rate of interest varies according to the market. According to the
I said legal question.
Yes, sir. I do not like correctly know this question, sir. Know the answer of.
Fixed charge is like taking a mortgage of an immovable property.
Okay, sir.
Floating charge happens in the case of taking hypothecation of movable assets or say assets which changes like raw materials, finished goods, etc. The stock will vary. So that is
The value of the stock will vary over
will
time.
vary.
Yes, sir.
That is the thing. Good. Best
Okay,
wishes.
sir.
Last question. Why should I select you?
Sir, I'm a hard worker. I'm a go-getter. I can get things completed on time. I have some leadership qualities as well. I can get people to do their work properly. Therefore, I think I would be a best fit for a manager. And therefore, I think I would make a good candidate to be selected for this post.
Good. Thank you. Best wishes. You did well. I wish you success. Balance is in God's hands. हमारा हाथ में कुछ नहीं है. And your next interview, when have you taken? Yeah, I will
Sir,
stop.
my
1 minute.